For the longest time, I just wanted to be interesting. I saw all of these cool people like telling these cool stories, these influencers, and I just thought it was so cool. Imagine being in this situation where you're like sitting with your friends and you're explaining the sick story about how you almost died in some like foreign country. And of course it was scary, obviously it was scary at the time. But imagine how cool it would be if they were like everyone else listening to it was like jumping in anticipation as you told the story with magnificent storytelling. You were acting out what was happening. You had all of this emotion. It sounded amazing. They were so curious. What's happening next? What's going to happen in the story? I thought that was always so cool. They'd be so interested in you. They'd think you're such an interesting person. It's like your cool grandpa if you have one. That's how I'd imagine it. But instead of being a grandpa, you'd just be like some cool person in general. I just thought that was always it was such a dream. I just wanted to be this like person who people were curious about. I didn't just want to be like some random person with no substance, nothing to me. I felt like a lot of people were like that. I remember I was on the train at one point and I was talking to a few new people. I just randomly met them. And this person who I met was randomly very, very like insightful. It was very interesting talking to him. I saw him like he was looking down eating some chips and I saw him with a watch on his arm and I just said, "Oh, you have a nice watch." He looked up, we were talking for a bit, and then he randomly asked me, "So what's your story?" And I was taken aback. What? I didn't actually say what, but I was just like visibly shocked. I've never been asked that before. What's my story? How do I even answer that? What's my story? Sorry, I've just never been asked that. Let me give me a second to think. What's my story? How do I even answer that question? Well, I initially was just some like regular person like everyone else. I came across some guy's content, I started improving my life, becoming more confident, going to the gym, etc. And now I'm here. That's kind of the summary of what I gave, but it's not interesting. It wasn't good enough. It could be so much better. It could be so much better. Imagine if I told him that, "Oh yeah, I've done a few boxing matches. I'm a champion in the Scottish national championships of table tennis. This achievement, that achievement, this cool story, that." I didn't have anything that noteworthy to my name. And of course the story is better than most people. I feel like most people would just say, "I don't know." Or they wouldn't give an answer. But it wasn't good enough for me. And if you're watching this video, you want more. You want to be someone who's interesting. You want people to talk to you and feel like, "Whoa, this guy, this person, he has so much to him that I want to know." So if you want to become the type of person who's interesting, and I'm still very far from that level, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna say, "Yes, I'm this interesting person," yes. But I truly believe I am certainly I'm closer to being like very interesting compared to 90% of people. And I have a bit of advice to give on becoming more interesting, on becoming someone of substance and character. So if you want to become like that, if you want to become more interesting without thinking too hard, I don't want to think hard. I don't want to go through all of this trouble, like thinking about how to talk in order to sound interesting. That's tiring, that's boring. I'm going to explain to you exactly how to do that. The number one way to become more interesting is to gain stories, to gain life experience. Wisdom is very interesting to people, and you gain wisdom through living your life, through experience, and that experience is shown through stories. This is why stories are so interesting. It's the oldest form of human expression, stories. This is what caveman did. This is what warriors did. This is what kings did. Stories. They told stories to galvanize their men. It's such an interesting form of expression. There's a reason why we've always been drawn to them. You need to have stories, and embarrassingly enough, most people don't have any. Like, they've been living their lives and they have no stories at all. They have nothing to show for it. If you were to ask somebody that question, what's your story? They have nothing to show. They'll just say, I don't know. I don't know. I scroll a lot on TikTok. They have nothing to show. They have nothing. They have nothing at all. They've wasted their life. It's embarrassing. You don't want to be that type of person and just waste your life. It's such a crude way to live. You want to have stories. But here's another thing. Some people have stories and forget them. Some stories may seem kind of insignificant, but they can actually be so interesting to tell people, and you'll just forget. You'll forget because the human brain doesn't store things like that all the time. I've forgotten a lot of stories. I've only recently started remembering them because I kind of document them on my videos. I tell these stories, so if I ever need them, I can always look back. Oh yeah, I did have that story, didn't I? I completely forgot about that. Now, you probably don't have content. If you want to store your stories, write them down. That is the best way to know about them. Don't write down an entire fucking book on each story. No, don't do that. That's a waste of time. But just write down a brief summary. 1-2 sentences should suffice. Just write down, for example, story of this. Let's say you climbed a mountain and something happened. I climbed a mountain with my friends. There was some crazy old guy. And when you read that, that should just jog your memory. Oh yeah, I remember that crazy old guy. He tried to attack us on the mountain. It was this battle, me and my friends versus him. That was funny. And that's such a cool story. It is so interesting, and you would have never remembered if you didn't write it down. You'll forget within a few months. Yeah, you literally forget that interesting story that could have made you a friend if you told that to someone within a year. It's such a waste. You had this valuable experience and it's gone now. No one will hear about it ever. So make sure you write down your stories. Anything that seems like it could be a story, it's worth writing down. There's no downside. It takes 5 seconds to write it down in your notes app. It's not a big deal. Write down your stories, every single one you get, even if it seems a little small. And of course the big stories, of course you want to remember them as well. Obviously, those are huge stories, and you probably won't tell them as much because of course those are big. Like the story of you preparing for some boxing match for your tournament, that would probably be a big story. Of course you could explain it quickly, and this goes on to the next section, which is storytelling. You've already gotten the stories. You've never had to thought about. You haven't had to think about that. You just write down stories for 5 seconds if you got one. That doesn't take brain power. Just real quickly, if you check the top link in the description, it is the social protocol. It is this program of mine that gets you better at socializing so you can make friends, you can talk to women, and you can get calls with me. Check that out, and let's get back to the video. Now we have storytelling, telling stories in a more captivating way. You see, people don't know how to talk. I've learned this a lot. When you talk to people, a lot of people will talk in slang or in this boring way. It won't be interesting at all. I want you to get good at telling stories. Now the angle of this video is to not think, right? I'm not going to tell you to research on storytelling or do any of that. We want to make it simple. Right now, what can you do so next time you tell a story to someone, you can tell it really good? First of all, before we even get good at storytelling, you need to understand that some people aren't interested. You can be interesting, some people might not be interested though. Just like how you can be hot, but not every girl will be attracted to you. It's not that you aren't hot, it's just not attracted. There's not much you can do about that. You need to be able to shorten and lengthen stories. This isn't really a skill, that just comes down to kind of omitting information and speeding things up. So if you tell a story to someone and you notice they are dead, they don't care at all. They couldn't care less, bro. They're like saying like that, they're just saying, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. It should be pretty obvious if they don't care about your story. If you can tell that they're getting kind of bored, they want you to finish up with the story, look at their facial reactions, realize it, and shorten it down. Omit information. Don't go in as much detail, finish it early. Don't like bore them with your story, then you won't be interesting. You'll just be like some nagger. Like this person who forces people into 30-minute conversations when it could be like 5 minutes. Don't be that person. It's so annoying. Genuinely, it's so annoying to like be sat in this 30-minute conversation that could be explained in 5 minutes and then we could just move on. It's annoying, it's like inconsiderate. So be mindful, first of all. If they do like it, if they're like engaged, they're asking questions, what happens next? How did that happen? What happened there? Expand the story, go into emotions. What happened then? Like expand how you felt here, how anxious you were. I didn't know if he was gonna stab me. I was looking around. I was so anxious. Like I looked there and I saw some people staring at me. And genuinely, I know this sounds kind of like weird because most people wouldn't think much of people looking at them. But in this like state of mind, I was so nervous, bro. I didn't know if I was gonna die. I just wanted to make it out of here. So when I saw those people looking at me, I almost... That's so much more interesting. You expand upon how you feel. If they aren't interested, then you can just say, oh yeah, people were looking at me, I was a bit nervous, and then this happened. Okay, like add emotion, this is what we'll go into. But you kind of omit information. You won't go into how nervous you felt, your internal state of mind. You just kind of gloss over it. That's one rule of storytelling. The second though is to add emotion to your voice. This is something I've been working on. Adding emotion to your voice is very difficult. It's a skill I'm not really that good at myself yet. If you want to add emotion to your voice though, it just comes down to kind of feeling what you're saying. It's your voice is an instrument, right? Your voice is an instrument. You're meant to play harmonious melodies. You're meant to set the mood. And in order to do that, you need to kind of act the emotion that you're trying to display. Like, I heard this before. I think it was that only 20% of what you're saying is what you're communicating to someone. So right now, the words I'm saying to you is only 20% of the message you're getting. The rest of the message is like my body language, my facial expressions, my eyebrows, my tonality, my cadence. That's the other 80%. So you need to get good at that. And that comes down to just practice, exaggerate things. Things that you would say in more of a monotone manner. Yes, so this happened and then this happened. I was a bit nervous at those people staring at me, but I just ignored it. I want you to exaggerate them. Go into real depth of how you felt. Increase your volume if it's like some high energy part. Widen your body language. This happened, I was so aggressive, I was so mad. Act it out. I was trying to pull this rope and it was so difficult. I was trying to forcefully pull it and I wasn't strong enough. when you act it out, it adds suspense and it adds like flair to the story, because people can actually like imagine themselves in that scenario. Like they are with you, they are seeing what's happening, and it actually allows them to immerse themselves in the story instead of just having this like account of what happened, anecdotes. So act it out, add emotion, increase your volume, decrease it, talk in a lower tone, talk in a higher tone. Variance. Emotion comes down to variance at the right time. Just like how a skilled instrument player won't just play with the same accompaniment. Like let's just say it's this like dun 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 dun, the same chord pattern. They'll change it. They'll play different notes. They'll vary the song when it fits it to make it sound not just the same, but kind of different, but still predictable, still sounds good. Learn to vary. Now, I don't want you to think, again, we don't want to get off the basis of this video, but it just comes down to putting energy into your voice. I don't think it's actually something you need to practice. Ironically enough, I think it's something that just comes if you try. So you know now it's about variance, it's about increasing your volume, lowering it, lowering your cadence, increasing it. It's like body language, widening it, going more reserved, less energy, less body language, more monotone sometimes. It's about all of that. And I think instead of practice, it's just about trying. I think you already have the natural capabilities of doing it. But you need to be so mindful of it when you are like telling a story, when you are saying things. And when you become more energy infused, you like expel that energy to other people. People gather around you. People want to be close to you because like they feel energized hearing your story. They feel like they are in this environment. They are getting energized from your energy. You're expressing yourself. I hope this video helped. Check out the top link in the description. As we said before, it's a top link in the description, the social protocol. You'll get better at socializing. You'll make friends in there. Like it's this community of people who are trying to grow alongside you, trying to get better at socializing, trying to make friends, trying to improve their lives. There is a full in-depth like course in it, which is like a series of videos that explains exactly how to become social through everything I've learned through my years of socializing and becoming better at this skill. There are also weekly calls, and I will see you in there. Remember, consistency is over a lifetime. Bye-bye.